Hello and welcome to Redesign Your Life Today. I'm your host, Daniel Kobryner, high energy, heart-centered life and business coach, international motivational speaker, and passionate believer that transformation is always possible, no matter your age or your story. This podcast is a space for those of you, especially over 40, who feel stuck, off track, or disconnected from who you truly are. And if you've ever thought there has to be more life to life than this is the right place. Here, we explore how to break through from fear, procrastination, and self-doubt and reconnect with your purpose, your power, and your truth. You'll hear inspiring conversations with heart-centered guests who have experienced real transformation and who now live with intention, freedom, and alignment. This is not about surface change. It's about radical transformation with your authentic self. It's about designing a life that doesn't just look good on the outside, but that feels good in the inside. Every episode is an invitation to show up fully, to think more expansively, and to take bold, soul-aligned steps towards the line you know has been waiting for you. And I'm delighted to welcome our guest today, and it's really such a pleasure and an honor. And this is Raj. So Raj Khedun is from London, UK. He's the inspired founder of Keep Fit Kingdom, which has this wonderful mission to help 1 billion people reach 100 years and to realize the healthiest version of themselves. He's an avid well-being and transformation coach, having specialized in coaches for over 15 years. He is also the inventor of the 3-to-3 metaverse breathing method, which is part of the 7 Minutes to Bliss program, which dramatically reduces stress and anxiety within 1 to 3 minutes and is proving to be highly effective in healing insomnia. His infectious energy uplifts everyone because he's excited to make a positive difference whilst helping people fulfill their potential and make dreams happen. Welcome, Raj. So nice to have you here.
Yeah, so wonderful introduction, Daniel. I think you covered everything. I think I can go now.
No, I mean it's only the start. I already we had a short conversation, and Raj, and when I see your energy, I mean this is absolutely fabulous. And Raj, I'd like to start to ask you to tell the listeners a little about your story and how you are where you are today and what's behind it.
Okay, well, I think a little Genesis backstory. I think it's fun, it's relatable, a little bit strange as well, and I think I'm hoping people will kind of reignite the child in themselves, because as we're children, we all have dreams, we all have big dreams, like far bigger than we do as adults in most cases. But society, all the limitations that we're given, it kind of lose connection with our dreams that we had as a child. And I think what if anything that I'm saying here encourages people to reignite their passion, their dream, their crazy vision, then by all means, let's keep the dialogue rolling, and I'll share my story here. So it starts when I'm 3 years old, and my mother takes me to nursery school in London, where I'm born. Mm-hmm. And we enroll in the nursery and look at the playground, look at the classrooms and everything, and then we end up in the library. And for whatever reason, I pick up 2 books from the shelf. And one book, the first one was about dinosaurs, mm-hmm. and the second one was about planets. And for whatever reason, these images have imprinted themselves so deeply on my mind, or my subconscious mind, that those ideas would never leave me throughout my entire life. And they guided me even more deeply and profoundly than my entire education did in the Western world. So I started to ask very strange questions when I was a 3-year-old. If people wouldn't understand me because I couldn't verbalize complicated topics at that age, but within myself, I was having a conversation with myself, or within my conscience, or call it God, call it cosmic consciousness, call it the universe, whatever you want to call it. I was having a conversation with that. And I would ask questions like, why do dinosaurs, how do they evolve from being less intelligent to more intelligent? How do they have a small brain, and as they develop, they have a bigger brain? And how it translates into animals now, you have crocodiles, you have dolphins, you have elephants. They become more and more sentient, and they become more attuned to communicate, to work together, and they have more expression of emotion, right? So, as you know, dolphins, monkeys, dogs. Why are dogs man's best friend? Because they have an ability to sense and communicate emotion. Even if they can't talk, they have a very uncanny intuition that is very helpful to man, and very helps man feel at peace. Helps man feel related, connected somehow. So there's that whole evolution piece about, okay, all these animals evolve. What's that hidden thing that is propelling their evolution? What is that? Where is it? I can't see it. Like, where is it? How does it happen? And I was thinking, how does it relate to humans? Can humans evolve themselves as well? Can they become undeveloped and then become super developed? Can they, because man's thought is unlimited, he can think about anything he wants? Absolutely. There's no limitation. There's no line in your brain that says you cannot think beyond this.
Absolutely.
Right? You can think whatever you want to think. So I started considering, okay, if we're having this kind of limitation as a child, can we progress to become this much better, this much more expanded, this much more having this kind of breadth of understanding and expansion of awareness? So I was thinking about that, and the planets thing was, okay, we have all these beautiful planets. We have Jupiter, we have Saturn, we have Mercury, we have Venus, we have Mars. Beautiful, like, wow, look how these things are spinning in space. Like, it's so fascinating. When you look on YouTube, right, you can look at Mars, because they have many robots on Mars from NASA. So you can look at Mars on YouTube, and you can see the sky is red, the ground is red, rocky, red, but there's no water, there's no plants, and there's no skeletal remains of any previous creatures, dinosaurs, nothing. So the question becomes even more curious. Why is there an empty planet in the solar system? That doesn't make sense. There has to be a reason. Why is Earth so small and is packed full of life? From the sea to the sky to the rocks to the earth, human beings, fruits, vegetables, minerals, gems, so many things on this little planet. Yet Mars, which is our neighbor, has nothing on it. Like, how does that even make sense? So with this kind of childish curiosity, I kept with these themes to understand what influence are the planets having on the rest of the solar system, on the planet Earth, on human beings, on our character, on our conduct, on our behavior. Is there a relationship? And if so, what is that relationship? How does it work? Right. So there's a bit of a Genesis backstory. I hope that.
No, it's fascinating.
Yeah.
So this was the start. So imagine Raj, 3 years old, picking up these 2 books, about dinosaurs, about, planets. And afterwards, so this journey into spirituality, can you talk us through a little how it went? And because obviously you're from London, we are in a westernized society, and afterwards we'll be talking about breathing, which is something which is not in, everyday's this, Western practice. So what's the path to this? How did it go?
It's such, it's really fascinating, really. I was growing up in London, quite, like with everyone else, have material things, right? You think you have everything. You're very proud of yourself. You're very obnoxious,
Yeah.
and take everything for granted. Because, I'm in the best city in the world. I have everything. I don't need to struggle. This kind of attitude. I was a bit obnoxious. I was a bit, arrogant, thinking I know something when actually the only knowledge I had was from school. Right. And these crazy ideas that in my mind, which is developing and accelerating. So what happens is my mother takes me to India when I'm 18.
Okay.
And I meet what we call an avatar. Right? You have teachers, you have gurus, but then you have avatars, like a full-blown, fully powerful avatar.
Okay.
I meet one of these beings who is unlimited. I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds outlandish, but an avatar in Sanskrit means coming down of a high power into a physical body or a physical incarnation.
Okay.
It's
So how does it look like, this encounter? You say I meet him. So is it somebody you see in front of your eyes? How does it?
Yeah, his name's Satya Sai Baba.
Okay.
You can look him up on YouTube, Satya Sai Baba.
Okay.
He's a very, very well-known avatar for in India, also across the world. He has devotees from all over the planet.
Okay.
And I met him, and I go to India, very arrogant, very obnoxious. What's India? India's poor. Like, there's nothing here. Like, all this silly things. And Avatar looks at me, and he speaks to me in my ear, telepathically.
Okay.
He says to me, "Son," he used the word son, son. You don't know why you're here. I know why you're here. I'm the one who called you here. And I'm like, what? And he's intimating. Do you remember the books in the library when you were 3? Yeah. Do you remember your first word? My first word wasn't mummy or daddy. My first word was clock. Clock, as in cosmology, astrology, clock, timing, clock.
Okay.
He knew everything. He knew everything. He knew everything. And he was kind of laughing in a way that you came to analyze me. Well, I came to help you, remind you of what you did in your past life. I'm like, oh my God, no, no. I completely turned my life upside down.
Okay.
And he was saying, like, you think you know something, you don't know anything. Yeah, you don't know where you come from. You don't know why you're here. You don't know what happens when you die. Yeah, you don't know what you're supposed to be doing in this life. You don't know how the planet was created. You know nothing.
Okay.
And I had to say, I was very humbled. I had no choice but to say, yes, you're right. I don't know anything. So then he instructed, it's time to be humble. It's time to listen. It's time to learn. And when you take up that kind of receptivity, you have to now be very patient. You have to be very kind to yourself. You have to cut off distractions like TV, radio, newspapers, magazines, gossip, external things in the world, the media. You have to cut all of this out. So I did that.
Okay.
Yeah. So I did that. And I studied Tibetan Buddhism for 8 years.
Oh, wow. Buddhism. And was it in the UK? You did it? Or in
UK.
Wow.
UK. Yeah.
Is it when, for instance, you started meditation? When you started Buddhism?
Yes, in terms of the deep principles that you learn from Tibetan Buddhism, they have great stories from their great Rinpoches. They call them Rinpoches in Tibetan Buddhism. So Rinpoche is the same as Guru.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have Padmasambhava is one of their great heroes in Tibetan Buddhism. Milarepa, another one of their great heroes in Tibetan Buddhism. Marpa, the translator. So there's a huge connection between India, yoga, Buddhism, Tibetan Buddhism, because Buddha, of course, is from India.
Yes, of course. Yeah, yeah.
And Buddha, the word Buddha in Sanskrit means brightness of mind,
I see.
intellect, a purified intellect. Yeah.
Wow. And Raj, if I may ask, what are the kind of biggest teachings you got from Buddhism? What really changed your life or helped you
Well,
changing your life?
when I was going through the Buddhist texts, I still have them here. They're underlined like so heavily with all these highlighters and just such interesting points. The hardest thing, the biggest thing for me to learn was all about the mind. Like, what is the mind? You're never taught in your entire schooling, even 1 hour of what is the mind. Never.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
And that is the most key instrument that you have to learn, to think, to apprehend knowledge, to communicate. You need to do everything through the mind. Without mental development, you have no leverage, you have no power, you have nothing.
Exactly. And I think you need as well to start to spend time with yourself. And, and because you mentioned before the distractions, everything which is around us, but I guess, and perhaps you can talk us a little through that. It's, what is helping today, when we are overwhelmed, when we are all over the place, when we are worried, how can we do to quiet down our mind and, have a more composed and, fulfilling life?
Yeah, well, I'll weave in the kind of story and the narrative and answer your question at the same
Yeah,
time.
sure.
So I was studying Tibetan Buddhism, understanding for the first time in this life what the mind is. Why is the mind such a big deal? If no one talks about it, yet it's such a big deal in Buddhism and Hinduism and yoga, yet no one says nothing about it. So I'm thinking, is it optional? Is it not optional? Is it lawful? You have to do it or you don't have to do it. This is very confusing. Very confusing. And then later you begin to realize there is a system to all of this madness, whatever looks chaotic. There is a system here. There is a definite system. And there's no point trying to fight it. Don't try to fight it. It's a system, it works, and that's how the cosmos works. Right? So understanding the mind, now you can understand the mind and the impressions and the thoughts and the energy and the emotions that come with the mind. You need to understand how those things are influencing your mood, your state of being, your interactions with others, what you say, what you reflect on, right? So if, for example, you have a fight with someone verbally, it doesn't end just when you split. You're constantly reflecting on the negative energy of that interaction within yourself, right? If you don't kill it there, if you don't cut it there, it's going to keep on bothering you again and again and again. And when you come into another situation where you fight with someone else, you'll bring the same reaction that you had from last time and use the same pattern again. And you make yourself feel bad again and again and again. So the best defense to all of that, just to be happy within yourself at all times. Then you can't have any motivation to dwell on negative energy because you're fighting people. No, I don't want to fight anyone.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Raj, actually, because this is such an interesting, topic, happiness. A lot of people are, in pursuit of happiness. They think that it's going to come from a relationship or from a job or from a situation or from a car. But yet, it doesn't go this way, does it?
Not at all. Not at all. You can meet billionaires. There's a funny quote from Dan Martell. He's an 8-figure or 9-figure entrepreneur, very, very high level. He's a brilliant guy. He's a Christian, and he's a very giving person, but he teaches a lot of wisdom in business. And he said, you get a lot of billionaires who want to be a Buddhist, but you don't get any Buddhists who want to be a billionaire.
Now, this is such a, you know what, yeah, such a powerful point. And if I may share, you know, from my side is, you know, I used to be, you know, a perfectionist, an overthinker, and, you know, I'm a Virgo. Apparently, this it's quite tough in terms of being really connected to the earth. And, you know, I try to control things, and I realized that, you know, I wasted so much time and energy. You know, this was not bringing, it was just making me overwhelmed. And when I really transformed my life, you know, with coaching and other people who helped me, and then I really learned to let go, to detach. And this was really so, and, you know, for me, and Mike, afterwards, your take on that is, I really learned to follow my heart and to follow my intuition rather than my logical brain.
Yes.
And as well, you see, for me, happiness as well, one of the biggest elements is gratitude. Practicing gratitude, being grateful for everything which is around us, for our friendship, for the little things in life. First of all, you know, we get up in the morning, we wake up and, wow, we are alive. Isn't it already a victory? And afterwards, you know, it's about as well not dwelling into the past, because, you know, in the past, we can learn from it, but we cannot live in it. Because if we keep resentment, grudge against people, just keeps us completely stuck. The future, we don't know what is going to happen. So for me, the only moment where we can fully live is now. So I'd like to have your take on this, Raj, if I may.
Absolutely. The concept that we have in, you know, in yoga philosophy, Vedanta, you know, it goes back over 20,000 years, recorded history. They say all humans are sat, chit, ananda. Sat, chit, ananda, which means being, awareness, bliss. Being, awareness, bliss. Being, awareness, bliss. All of us, and the good thing about this, you can fight about it all day long. You'll never win this argument. Just don't bother. Right? We are all sat, chit, ananda. Being, awareness, bliss. That is never going to change. So if that's our nature, deep down in our core of core, we should behave that way now. So you have being, you're still and calm within yourself. You have awareness. Your mind is understanding, apprehending concepts, people, energies, just by being still.
Yes.
Bliss is joyfulness of recognizing your true immortal being. Bliss.
This is bliss, okay.
This is bliss. Because bliss is infinite. Infinite joy, infinite happiness, infinite euphoric emotion. That's our true nature. So anything, you don't need to acquire anything to have that. You already have it. You need to get rid of all the distractions that prevent you from feeling that.
It's beautiful, Raj. So we are already fully whole as we are.
Correct.
And afterwards, perhaps we get this programming in childhood, and, you know, where it really gives us some, you know, perhaps traits of personality, who we are not. We're deep down in ourselves. Is it correct?
Correct. We're distracted.
Okay.
Distracted. Yeah. And you pick up, instead of picking up the whole picture, you pick up a tiny piece like this. And you hold to this and you miss the whole thing. because you just focus on this tiny piece. So then you get frustrated as you grow older. You say, life is ticking past. I haven't learned much. I haven't done much. People are not happy because of my existence. So what is the point of all this? Then you start to let go, like you said, detach from the small ego and grab your higher immortal identity, Sat Chit Ananda.
Wow, this is so powerful, Raj. And you see, you brought a point there. It's about purpose. You know, you said some people, they, can I use the word, they live their life in a hamster wheel. Just gone and gone on autopilot, and they reach the end of their life and they think, what have I brought? What have I contributed to this place? So for you, for instance, Raj, you know, I really love your statement, you know, your vision statement, where you say, I want to impact 1 billion people living up to 100 years. Can you walk us through this and this, how it went, and how does it going to, how do you want, how you are you doing it now into practice?
Yes, absolutely. So in life, you need to understand there are some intangible forces or invisible forces that are surrounding us constantly. I used to do, I do a lot of weight training, gymnastics, martial arts. I love that. I've been doing that for years and years, which is great. But there's a problem. Okay. The problem is this. There's what we call electromagnetism all around us. Every single time you breathe, you think it's air or oxygen. It's not. That's a very small part of it. Oxygen, 21%, hydrogen, nitrogen, another, 70%. But that doesn't mean much. What means a lot to all of us, you, me, everyone, electromagnetism is hidden in this atmosphere. This substance, power, call it chi, call it life energy, call it prana, as they do in yoga philosophy. It's constituted of three main things: light, electricity, and magnetism. Light, electricity, and magnetism.
Okay.
Right. So when you take this stuff into your body, it has a big impact on your immune system and your nervous system. And you can charge yourself up from this all-powerful energy without the use of meds, without the use of supplements, without the use of vitamins, without the use of food, without the use of water even. Because electromagnetism contains all particles of all elements and all chemicals in the universe. It's already there. But if you don't know how to pull it into your body, you will not understand that you are swimming in infinite power your whole life and you didn't know.
This is fantastic. And I have to say, I started my kind of spiritual journey only a few years ago. So, but I really kind of dug deep there. And you were mentioning about the prana energy, and my understanding is that, kind of you attract, the infinite light perhaps through your crown chakra, and it circulates between your root and your crown chakra. I mean, am I correct in saying that? And how, what are the methods to get this electromagnetic, force into your being?
Yes, that's where the critical point comes. Okay, so I'll give you an example, a practical example, because some people think, oh, you're talking about these invisible things. It's not in the school curriculum. I can't connect. I can't relate. It's hard. But there are people like Greg Braden, Bruce Lipton, and who's the other wonderful chap? Greg Braden, Bruce Lipton, and there's another wonderful guy. Of course, Joe Dispenza, right?
I had this in mind, but I just waited for you to.
Okay. Yeah. These guys, they talk a lot about these kind of hidden laws, hidden energies in the universe. Now, I've not been sick for 20 years. I've not taken medicines or seen a doctor for 20 years.
Wow. Okay.
I've not been to a hospital, had a test, X-ray, ultrasound, MRI, nothing. And people will get angry at me, like my receptionist from my GP would say, "Doctor's so furious with you, Raj. You never come here. You never see your doctor." I said, but I don't need to. And then she started to relax, and she said, how come though? Like you never, like you have no records here. You have no records. And then she said, she laughed and said, "If I knew what you knew, Raj, I would not need to go to the doctor either. So maybe you should teach me." Right. So having said that, we use breathing methods. Breathing methods pull in the electromagnetic energy into our immune system and our nervous system to boost our electromagnetic aura, or electromagnetic field of our body. So now every day we keep increasing it, increasing it, increasing it, increasing it, increasing it. So until you become so strong that your aura starts to influence the environment and influence people, influence animals, influence people for better, for good, for change, for positive, you know, feeling stronger, feeling hopeful, feeling optimistic, right? So you do pranayamas through the nose, through the mouth, and you do this on a regular basis every day. And then what starts to happen in your brain? You have 27 billion brain cells. Could be more as well. And when you bring this prana, life energy, into your brain, like little light bulbs begin to brighten up.
Okay.
Like little light bulbs begin to get brighter and brighter and brighter. And in your brain, you start to awaken that dark, dormant potential that you never used before, because you didn't know how to access it. You didn't know how to fill up those cells with light to see. Right? Now with prana, you can bring electromagnetic power into the brain and start to expand your brain cells. That's how it works.
Wow, this is fascinating. And I've heard a lot, for instance, about, obviously there's the third eye, and as well the activation of the pineal gland. Is it what we are talking about here a little bit, Raj? Yes?
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. So for example, if we're walking down the street, yeah, or doing anything, the funny thing is that we're two human beings. We have senses, we have a body, we're in the world, yes, but you can't see my mind. You can't see it. My mind could be like this, seeing so many things and hearing all simultaneous awareness, right? But unless I tell you, you wouldn't know.
No, of course.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah. So everybody has a private relationship with God in their mind. And he knows that. He knows, he can see exactly, he knows everything. So he knows what you're seeing. He knows that you know this and other people do not. He knows that. He knows that. And when I hear the voice of conscience talk to me, it will say, help as many people as you can to expand their brain, expand their awareness, so they can understand who they really are. When they have that, then there's no need to fight anymore. There's no need to conflict. There's no need to, you wouldn't think of killing anyone. Oh my gosh. You would think, no, I want the same for others as I want for myself. That brings the peace on earth.
And this is like the ultimate purpose, isn't it, Raj? To help as many people as possible to live the best life they can, to live in peace, to bring joy and happiness to others.
That's right. That's right. That's why, when you break the boundaries of limited thought, you might come across people that you've never met before, and like they feel like your family. Like, how come we feel like such a close friendship? But I never knew this person was from Russia or whatever. And yet you have this vibration, this frequency that effortlessly dances together, and then you realize, oh, this is my family. There's this higher octave, happy, joyous people who want the best for everybody, including themselves. This is my family. All right? Call it in God, in Christ, in good spirit. You know, this is the real family. And you outgrow your friends, you outgrow your community. Sometimes you outgrow your peers, and you say, "This is too negative. This is old-fashioned. I'm sick and tired of this. I want something better." You know, so you find your tribe, as they say. You find your tribe.
And you know, Raj, I have to say, I resonate so much with you because you see, it's, you know, what's happened in, you know, in the past is, you know, sometimes I would enter a room, for instance, you know, I didn't know anybody, but for whatever reason, I felt attracted to talk to someone. Again, it's not the physical, but, you know, it could be a man, a woman, I don't know. Just looking at the person, just go there, started a conversation, and all of a sudden, you know, I noticed that there is a connection there.
Mm.
And what you see, I thought, okay, this is strange, but now, you know, obviously with what the science has brought as well about, you know, there is this scale of, you know, vibrations, you know, from Hawkins, and, you know, and now, and of course, listening to Joe Dispenza as well, you realize that we are, I mean, we are all connected. I mean, everybody's connected on this planet. I mean, people, plants, animals as well. But the connections, the message with the universe, the language is vibrations. And when we match, when our level of vibrations match vibrations from the universe, from people, from, you know, this is how the connection goes. And this is like, for me, wow, you know, it's very interesting, this concept, isn't it?
It is, absolutely, because then you realize that everything belongs to you, and you belong to, you know, no one has any lack of anything. Because when you ask me to help you with something, it's not like I feel offended or I feel I can't do it or whatever. No, I will say, okay, according to this vibration, this is how it works. I'm happy to help people grow because I have abundance to share. I've got something to share, and it's my obligation to enjoy to share it. But people who don't have anything, who haven't built or created anything of value, they find it difficult to mix and talk and negotiate, whether it's, you know, some value, helping them with a problem, helping them earn more money. And we love now breaking all the barriers around money because people have kept that hidden for so long. And that's caused so much suffering and separation and seclusion and isolation for way too long. People just suffering endlessly. Yeah. But there are big, mega, you know, trillion-dollar corporations who, they're not struggling. They got plenty of cash in the bank, plenty of money coming in monthly. And they, you know, they don't think about those other people who need to be like re-educated on money. You know what I mean? They play on your ignorance, and that has to stop. That has to change.
Absolutely. And this is where you are, you know, we are on this mission here to really, you know, educate people. And really, I loved what you say, Raj, about, you know, that whatever we do, you know, it's something which is actually above ourselves. It's really, we want to help, but we want to help. It's not for us. It's something which is above us. We don't expect anything. So we really do it because we care. We care for the people. You know, it's about loving, it's about giving, it's about sharing.
Sure.
And when we do that, this is really when you say the bliss is coming. You know, it's really, it's about, we do something for others, of course. But what's fascinating in this universe is when we do this, and again, we do it because it's our mission. But a way or another, it's coming kind of back to us as well, because the universe sees this and actually wants us to do more of that. So,
correct.
Is it what you see as well? Yeah, Raj?
Cool. Absolutely, absolutely. And I think as you evolve, as you grow in your understanding, your wisdom, you see there's a metaphysical shift between dealing with a body and a selfish animalistic ego, which is a hard thing to crack. It's a hard thing to give up, you know. But once you do that and you stop living from what we call the manipura chakra in the belly, and you move to the heart chakra in what they call anahata chakra.
Okay.
When you move to the anahata chakra, your whole orientation flips 180 degrees from outside to inside. Right? That's what happens.
And this is obviously one of the secrets of happiness, isn't it?
Yes.
When we shift into this mode. And I just have a question for something you said in the very beginning of the conversation. You said, when you met this avatar, and you said something about past souls. Can you share a little more about this? For me, it's a new topic, but about souls reincarnating in body. What's your explanation, if I may ask?
Of course. I mean, I've studied this, studying metaphysics and yoga for the last 25 to 30 years. You're going to keep coming across this concept about reincarnation. There's no way you're going to avoid it. You're going to keep coming across that. And how I've been able to say, yes, it's a big concept. Okay, it's deep. People don't talk about it, don't know how it works. But the fact is that if you observe yourself and you see you have patterns of thoughts going on in your mind, in your subconscious mind, in your conscious mind, and you'll say, where do those patterns come from? Who put them there? Is it me? Is it society? Is it my ancestors? Is it my mom and dad? Is it my siblings? Who put those patterns there? Usually, it's a mixture of all of these.
Yes.
Ancestors, family, society. Oh, it's so many influences, just, on one on top of the other. But then you've also got your own influences from your past lives also, which gives you the fundamental vision of how you personally perceive life.
Okay.
So when you meditate and do yoga and pranayama, these practices, what you're looking to do is also re-energize or reignite the seeds of your past good actions. Your past knowledge that you've had that's been helpful and constructive. You want to bring that back.
Right, because it is our mission, I suppose, that to bring it back and even to put it perhaps to a higher level.
Correct. To develop it further. Yes.
Until we leave this world and we come back another time to continue on this sacred mission. Yes.
Correct. And when I think about it and how I pour into people, meaning add value to people, I say, look, there's 5 life areas. It's like, well, we have 5 fingers, right? Health, wealth, relationships, mind power, and God, or purpose, or meaning, or spirituality, whatever you want to call it. All human beings have these 5.
Wow. Okay.
And it doesn't matter how much you try to fuss or complain or defeat or try whatever, complain about it. Don't bother, because these 5 are always going to be there. Right? So if that's a fact that these 5 exist, it's my business, and it's, if you wish to take it on as your business, to learn everything I possibly can about these 5 areas. And then share as much as I can with as many people as I can. Right? So a lot of people, they don't understand how health works. That's a massive area. You have disease, you have health. Some people are stronger, some people are weaker, some people have more energy, some people have less energy. It's a huge, it's a huge area. Everyone wants to be healthy. Money. Everyone wants to be wealthy. Of course. No one wants to struggle with money and worry about money. No one wants that. No.
Yeah.
God doesn't want that either.
No, of course.
He wants you to be healthy. He wants you to be wealthy. He wants you to have fabulous relationships. I'm not talking about, ego-driven relationships based on sensuality. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about with your society, with your community, with your partner or your wife, if you have that, and the larger human, community. So relationships are very important for sharing, for enjoying, for having a cup of tea and having a great chat about how can I help your day be better? What value can I add to you? Oh, no, Raj, let me add to you. No, I want to add to you. This kindness makes everyone feel happy. So So I'm not by myself. I'm not isolated. Oh, I have people who want to help me. Oh, wow. Right. And that's a law in the cosmos, even of Jesus in the Bible. You know, we're obligated to pour into people to help them with whatever they're struggling with. Right. Mind power, again, understanding the mind, teaching people, how does the mind work? How do you use it? How should you use it? Right. I use my mind to control my body, my senses, and my relationship with the world.
Mm-hmm.
I have a shield around me where nothing happens to me unless I want it to. And that's not a bad thing. People say, oh, you're trying to, you don't know, because you need peace. For me to have peace, I need to be able to a certain extent, control my environment. Because I don't want to waste my time with useless things.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to use your mind to control these otherwise random things that just happen.
For instance, it means like protecting your energy.
Correct. Exactly. Exactly. And you'd be surprised, the mind is so powerful, you can use it to control your body in terms of disease, sickness. Yeah, anything that happens in your body, you can control with your mind power.
Yes, yeah. I mean, this is so powerful. And actually, you see, going on this, I mean, journey as well, you know, I met quite a few, you know, energy healers and as well. And you know what I kind of learned is that nearly every disease, every condition is linked to an emotion somewhere. I mean, it's and when you listen to people, you know, depending on where it is a body, you can exactly know, you
Yes,
know, put a name there.
correct. Correct. And is it under the table? Is it hiding in the bank? No, it's in you. It's in
Exactly.
your mind and in your heart. It's there. So,
And it
yeah,
means that with the right, you know, healing procedures, it's possible to get rid of them. But
absolutely.
we have to, yeah, we have to be open really to everything. And see, what I found admiring is that, I mean, in Hinduism, Buddhism, in, you know, in Central America, everywhere, people had this knowledge. They knew how to stay healthy. They knew. It was like, you know, it was ancestral. It was transmitted from generation to generation. But what happened in this Western civilization, you know, which believed that, you know, it was like the one.
Mm,
You know, medicine was about curing, and, you know, but it's not about going after the cause of where
yeah,
does it come from? And this is where I guess there's a big shift which needs to be made in society.
that's right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And fortunately, you know, being so interested in this science and being pulled deeper and deeper into it, I realized that, oh, I actually like to understand the causes of things because there's a system to everything. The body, look how many systems we have: skeletal system, muscular system, circulatory system, digestive system, respiratory system, lymphatic system, nervous system. There's so many systems, right? But you'll say, what is the one system that controls all systems?
Mm-hmm.
The mind is the greater system because it's invisible and it can control all visible systems.
Absolutely. This is fantastic. And really, thank you so much, Rajan. Like, really, for our auditors now to know more about your what you have created, you know, the breathing, you
Yes,
know,
let's do that.
and I'd love to hear, or
Yes,
perhaps, I don't know, just because I have to say, I don't know that. So if you
let's do
can,
it.
you
Yeah,
know, share with us about this.
of course, of course. So just to finish that, the last concept, we talked about mind power, and the other thing is purpose and meaning.
Oh,
So
sorry. Yes.
yeah,
Yes. Yes.
so
Yes.
you've got to have purpose and meaning or some kind of mission in life or some kind of main driving interest that you want to impact and improve people's lives with. So that's the last, or maybe you could call it the first point of the 5 areas. So now we'll talk about the breathing, and we'll do a demonstration here so you can feel it for yourself.
Okay.
All right. So you mentioned, I think before when we had a brief call, I think you mentioned doing some breathing before.
Yes, just once I've done actually twice with with summer breath. This is one.
Summer.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Have you tried Wim Hof?
I haven't tried it. I've heard about this, but I've not tried it.
Okay. Okay. No worries at all. All right. So what you're going to do, Daniel, is you're going to try this. Is called the 3-3 metaverse breathing method.
Okay.
Yeah. My name, just a fun thing. A lot of people are calling me, instead of Raj, they're calling me the 3-3 or 3-3.
3-3. Okay.
Yeah, people get like a gangster rapper name. They call me 3-3 now, which is a fun thing. So 3-3 metaverse breathing method. It's very simple. It's gentle. It's relaxing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we can get started with doing it. So what you do is you block one nostril and breathe in and out a few times. Okay, and then you switch over. And tell me, Daniel, are they 50-50 or is one more open than the other?
Yeah, the left one is more open.
The left one is more open. Would you say it's like 60-40 ratio or 70-30?
Well, I feel something on the other one, so it's like first, hold on a second. Perhaps I want to make sure I clear it. No, I would say like 70-30.
70-30. Okay. Okay. And on a scale of 1 to 10, Daniel, what would you say you feel right now? 1 being terrible, 10 being amazing.
Well, I mean, very high. I don't know. I feel great.
Roughly, give me a rough number, just roughly.
Let's say 8.
8, yeah. Cool. So with this method, it's 3 breaths through the nose in 3 parts, and then 3 out through the mouth, like this. Now, I sometimes think Zoom, its noise cancellation stops the sound of breathing and things like that. So I'm going to make the sound verbally as well, so you can hear it.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's sniff, 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 like this. So sniff, sniff, sniff 3 times, 3 parts, and then, or ha, ha, ha.
Okay.
Ha, ha, ha.
Okay.
Ha, ha, ha. But without the vocal cords.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but the last one a bit longer. You have to open the mouth a little bit more. Yeah, because it comes from the back of the throat.
Okay.
And this activates the vagus nerve.
Right. So first I have to do like 3 sniff, sniff, sniff. Yeah.
Yep.
With the 2 nostrils. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And then open the mouth a little bit more. That's better. Or with audio, ha, ha, ha. Ha, ha, ha. Ha, ha, ha.
Ha ha ha.
That's it.
Ha
But without, yeah,
ha.
but that's just for people listening because the Zoom count has a noise
And do
cancellation.
I have to do 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3? Is it
Yes,
how it
it's
works?
like this. Yeah, so it's like this. Nice rhythm, gentle, nothing forced, nothing pressurizing, nice, gentle rhythm. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, we'll do it for 1 minute together.
Okay.
Okay. Have you got it? Yeah.
Yeah. I've got it. Yeah.
Perfect. You already feel calm a little bit?
Yes, actually, I feel, some little tingling.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I start.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good. So we'll do 1 minute together. And Daniel, for this one, keep your eyes closed. Okay.
Mhm.
And after the 1 minute, I'll ask you a few questions. Okay. Okay. So 3, 2, 1, go. Just relax. You can stop there. Just relax and feel what's happening within. Just relax. Keeping your eyes closed, Daniel, tell me what you notice and how you feel.
I feel very relaxed, and it's as if electricity was going through my body. It's yeah, it's a very nice sensation. I feel it, I feel the flow in my legs, in my arms, in my body,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a very nice sensation, very appeasing,
Mm-hmm.
very smooth.
Yeah. And did you feel any sensations around your brain area at all, like prefrontal cortex or any of the
Oh, that's a
glands?
good
No?
question. Actually, yes, I think I did. Yeah.
Where about, roughly? Where about?
I would say if I have to show this part here, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, like, where the, how do you call it?
Pineal gland.
Yeah, perhaps.
Mhm.
I mean, it's inside. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, it's,
Yeah. Okay, good.
yeah,
And did you feel your heart rate slow down a bit, Daniel?
yeah, it did. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's beating very, you know, yeah, it's quite low. My,
Mm-hmm. That's good. And did you notice the mental chatter, what we also call the monkey mind in Buddhism, chattering away? A lot of people have ADHD and mental chatter. Have you noticed the mental chatter slow down or decrease a bit?
absolutely.
Mhm.
See, I was so focused on the breath that I didn't think of anything else actually.
Mhm.
I was really fully
The rhythm.
with the rhythm, and just and starting feeling the sensations. So absolutely
Yeah.
no distractions.
Yeah. Good. And do you feel a mental expansion of awareness beyond the body? Like there's some growing sense of expanded consciousness beyond the body? Do you feel something like that?
Hmm. yeah, I would say I feel an openness,
Mm,
so I don't know if it's expansion. It's difficult to put this word there, but it's yeah, an openness to yeah, to my environment, to my
mm.
yeah, really to what's to the energy which is around me.
Yes, exactly. Does it feel pleasant to you?
Very pleasant.
Mhm.
I said I still feel this like current in my body. It's really nice sensation. It's very yeah.
Whereabout do you feel that current? You say current. Where do you feel that?
Well, I still feel it in my legs.
Mm,
I'm going, I've got my feet on the ground there, so I feel it there. I mean, I feel it in my arms,
mhm,
you know. Yeah, I mean, it's more in my legs and my arms, but as well in my body. I can see
mm,
it's flowing from my torso.
mm. Yeah. Okay.
So, I mean, it's everywhere. It's like a continuity. I think it's from the top of the, from the nails of the fingers until until the toes. It's,
Yeah.
you were talking before of this prana energy flowing.
Mhm.
I don't know if it's this, but it could be that.
Yeah, it absolutely is that. On a scale of 1 to 10, you said you felt an 8 out of 10 earlier. 10. What would you say you feel now?
Well, I would say a 10.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel, you know, I mean, I don't know if I said 9 or 9.5, but I feel really, it's great. So,
Okay. Mhm. You feel like you're in a flow state?
yeah.
Yeah. The Hungarian scientist Mihai Csikszentmihalyi said it takes 10,000 hours to get into flow state by practicing a musical instrument or a particular skill, but we help people get into flow state in 60 seconds.
Wow. I can understand that now.
Mm.
It's
Are you
obviously I
surprised?
try to refer to what you were saying before, Raj, about this, lights in this. I cannot say that I see all these, bulbs, in my brain. I can't say that, but I feel a lot of, relaxations and opening. So,
Yes, yes. On a,
so
on a scale of, if I can ask this last question, Daniel,
yeah, of
thank
course.
you. On a scale of 1 to 10, um, how surprised are you how quickly this worked, given that you just did it only for 60 seconds?
I mean, it's unbelievable. Yeah, of course. I mean, on the scale, it's 10 because it's like, wow, you had spoken about this, but so simple and so, I mean, within 1 minute, what's possible is, and really a simple exercise. It's not, you see, the breathing exercises I've done, they were
Mm.
much more intense,
Mhm.
and it's, with holding your breath and working on holding more and more your breath,
Mm.
either when it's in or when you exhale, you see?
Yeah.
But this is very different. This is more, let's say, much more natural in a way.
Yeah.
So,
And yeah.
well, thank you so much. Can I open my eyes? So,
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
thank you, Raj. I mean, you brought me in another dimension now. So, okay. And wow, thank you so much. And I'm very curious because now, what's about the 7 minute to bliss? What is in this? What is different? I mean, if I may ask.
Of course. Of course. So, 7 Minutes to Bliss is like the umbrella program, which encompasses various breathing methods. But this one that you've done is like a taster to help you understand that
Okay.
how we're helping people with insomnia. It's not the full program because there's a bit more involved. It would take a bit longer to kind of go through all the details, but it just gives you a sense of, oh, I see how this can work with insomnia because it just helped you relax and calm everything down quickly. So when people do this within 30 to 90 seconds, they can often fall asleep. And then they say, okay, teach me the whole program. I want to know how this works. So they buy the tutorial online. It's like it's very inexpensive. It's like $97, teaches everything.
Mm-hmm.
And people then start asking us for coaching. Can it help with relationships? Can it help with health? Can it help with this issue, that issue? And then we start doing more and more bespoke coaching for it.
Okay. Wow, thank you so much for sharing with me and with the auditors, Raj. I mean, it's been a really an amazing experience. So, so when people want to find, obviously, your programs, where you said, where can they find it? What's, is it on your website?
Yeah. So best place to go is keepfitkingdom.com. keepfitkingdom.com.
Okay.
And there's a tab on there called the 3-3 Insomnia Hack, which people click on there, they find out all the information. They see testimonials from the NHS, Oracle, the software company, Philips Electronics, Novartis, the medical company. So you've got lots of testimonials, lots of experience from very highly experienced psychotherapists as well talking about it. There's FAQs, there's WhatsApp messaging, email messaging, so you can ask us any questions. You can buy the program directly from there as well. And we're building a community on social media as well, so you can join there, leave your comments, keep the dialogue rolling.
Well, thank you very much, Raj. Obviously, we'll put all the the links under in the comments under the podcast. And a last word, Raj, for our auditors, for them to reach this 100 years.
I think the most important thing is to understand electromagnetism in the atmosphere and how to harness it for your own health, strength, and well-being. That's very, very important. So, we've been doing this for years now. We've gotten incredible results for our customers and clients. So, if you're interested in that, feel free to reach out. Happy to help. So,
well, thank you so much, Raj, for bringing all this beautiful wisdom. I mean, we covered so many topics, and I think we could talk for hours as well. We can continue, and perhaps we'll have another, podcast at another time. But thank you so much for your time, and it was such a pleasure to have you as a guest.
Likewise, Daniel. Thank you so much. Great questions as well. So appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you. Afterwards,